Hello my intelligent friends, welcome to the second lecture in our series of lectures on admission of a partner. Now in our previous lecture, I have spoken about the different steps which are required for accounting of admission of a partner, in which the fourth step was about treatment of goodwill. And when it came to treatment of goodwill, I had told you that we will have to consider three different points. First one was the value of goodwill. Second one was the ratio to be used for goodwill. And the third one was the accounting entries for goodwill. In today's lecture, I am going to talk only about valuation of goodwill. For ratios, I am going to consider next lecture, lecture number 3. And for accounting entries, I am going to consider lecture 4. So, by using these first 4 lectures, you will be in a position to understand the entire accounting part in relation to admission of a partner. So today let us focus only on valuation of goodwill. What is the value of goodwill to be considered? Now remember, we will be having two different words. One is called as firm's goodwill and one is called as new partner's share in firm's goodwill. These two words may be used. When these two different words are used, what is their meaning is what we are going to discuss now. So next 30-35 minutes I want you to be with me for the purpose of understanding only one part. What is the value of goodwill to be considered when a new partner is admitted in the partnership firm? Whatever accounting entry we are going to pass, in that accounting entry, in the debit amount column and credit amount column, which amount should be considered by us is the question we are trying to solve. So let us start with our journey on the topic of valuation of goodwill. Okay. First, let us understand the meaning of goodwill. What is goodwill? Now try to understand. If I want to make profit, it's obvious that I will have to have a good business. And to have a business, what are the different things which I should have? Number one, I should have good assets, maybe a proper place of land and building, proper location. The land and building should be again customer friendly if that is my shop or that is my trading activity. If it is my manufacturing activity, then it is again going to be considered from different viewpoint. So proper location is the first point. Then maybe proper employees, proper product. If all these things are there and I am giving a very good customer service, then I can say that I am in a position to make profit. And if my first customer is finding that the service which I am giving is good or the products which I am selling is good, he may come repetitively again and again for the product which he has purchased from me or for the services which he has taken from me. Then there is a chance that he may recommend my product, my service, my name to his friends. So there is a chance that when the second customer will come, 10th customer will come, 100th customer will come, that customer is coming to the business not because he already knows what my business is, what my product is, what my services are, but he is coming because he has already heard about it, that my quality is good. So in such a situation, you will find that the business is making profit not only because of its location, because of its good employees, because of its good product, because of its good customer satisfaction, but it is also making profit on account of the reputation it has generated over a period of time by working hard in a systematic manner in a single direction, that is of customer satisfaction. So I can say land and building is one asset. Land and building is an asset. Plant and machinery is an asset. Furniture is an asset. Similarly, goodwill is an asset of the firm. Goodwill is an asset of the business. Goodwill helps you to make profits in the business. So why do we make profit? We make profit because we are having integrity of our employees. We make profit because we are having very good quality of goods and services. And we make profit because we are having such assets which help us to generate customer satisfaction. Some of the assets are tangible and some of the assets are intangible. That intangible asset is our goodwill, our reputation. The asset like land, building, plant, machinery, furniture, vehicles are those assets which we have purchased by going in the market and we have purchased the same. But when it comes to the asset called as goodwill, it is not an asset which generally is purchased by us from somebody else. Instead, it is that asset which is generated by us by working extra, by doing hard work, logical work, intelligent work, and customer satisfaction generation. So although goodwill can be considered as an asset, it is having some special features as compared to other assets. First one, land, building, plant, machinery, vehicles, all these are tangible assets. On the other hand, goodwill is an intangible asset. So the first point which we should consider is goodwill is our reputation which we have generated. It is an intangible asset and it helps us to earn the extra profit as compared to our competitors. Because we are having good reputation, our customers are never choosing our competitors, or our customers are always choosing us over our competitors. So it can be called as extra profit earning capacity of the business as compared to our competitors. It is the reputation of the business. It is the creditworthiness of the business. It is the guarantee of quality of our goods and services. It is the guarantee of customer satisfaction that we have generated. That helps us. Normally it is self-generated. But sometimes when the business of someone else is taken over as a going concern, then it may be an acquired asset. Now in 12th standard, we are not having this special adjustment of taking over somebody else's entire business. When you are going to go for your graduation studies, or maybe if you are going to go for studies of chartered accountancy or company secretary, then you may have these topics. But 12th standard, we can assume that we are generally not having the transaction of taking over somebody else's business as a going concern. So for us, goodwill is a self-generated asset. It is not an acquired asset for us for 12th standard purpose. As you go ahead in your studies of accountancy, in your studies of business transactions, then you will understand that in some cases goodwill can also be acquired asset. Generally in all cases it is self-generated asset. Generally in all cases it is self-generated asset, but in some cases it can be an acquired asset. And it is an intangible asset. So these are the two major points which we should remember. What is goodwill? Goodwill is the reputation of the business. It is the extra profit earning capacity of the business as compared to its competitors. And how it is different as compared to other assets? Generally other assets are acquired, whereas goodwill is generally self-generated. Generally other assets are tangible. We can touch them, feel them, see them. Goodwill we cannot see, but we can understand that it is working. When machine is working for us, we can see the machine is working for us. But when goodwill is working for us, we can't see goodwill is working for us, but it can be ultimately understood in the extra profits earned by our business at the end of the year. So just like machine is working for us to provide very good quality goods and services, similarly goodwill is helping us by bringing the same customers again and again, and by bringing new customers also. So it's an asset, but it is generally self-generated and it is intangible. Other assets are generally purchased. We go to the shop, we purchase plant and machinery. We go to the shop, we purchase vehicles. We go to the shop, we purchase furniture. We acquire it by paying money. But goodwill we don't acquire by paying money generally. Generally we work hard over a period of time in a continuous manner for the purpose of customer satisfaction. So ultimately it starts giving us profit. So it is an asset, but it is self-generated asset. It is not an asset for which we have spent money. It's an asset for which we have spent our khoon pasina. If I'm supposed to use our Hindi word, Hindi language, khoon pasine ki kamai. Goodwill is our khoon pasina. That is converted into our reputation. And it is intangible asset. So you can't touch it, you can't feel it. You can't say that, see, this is our goodwill which is kept here. In this corner we are keeping furniture, in that corner we are keeping plant and machinery, and in this corner we are keeping goodwill. No, nothing of that sort can be shown. Goodwill can't be seen, but it works. It works for our business profits. Clear? So this is the meaning of goodwill to be kept in mind, and this is how you can understand how goodwill is different from other assets. Okay. Let us now consider the next point. What are the methods of valuation of goodwill? For the purpose of understanding the methods of valuation of goodwill, first of all understand that there are two different words which at the beginning of the lecture I have told you. One is called as firm's goodwill and one is called as new partners share in the goodwill of the firm. One is called as firm's goodwill and one is called as new partner's share in the goodwill of the firm. Let us take an example that your class or maybe your college has decided to arrange a picnic, and the picnic is, let us say, 50 students are interested in joining the picnic, or 55 students are interested in joining the picnic. So your school or your college or your class or maybe your society from where you have decided to conduct a picnic, they have booked one bus, ST bus or some other transportation bus. One full bus is booked. So the full one round trip from your society or from your school to that place and from that place back to your school or society, as the case may be, the buswala has specified that the total charges would be rupees, say, 10,000. You'll have to pay full 10,000. Your society, your class, your college, your school will have to pay full rupees 10,000 because you are booking the entire bus. But let us say next time you alone are going to the same place by using the same bus. That particular company, tourist company, which helped you to arrange the picnic of your school, college, class or maybe society, is already running its own bus daily from your house or from some bus stop near your house to the location there. So since you enjoyed that picnic spot a lot, in the next month you decided to go alone to that picnic spot by using the same bus service. You know that the bus is coming to that bus stop in the morning at 7 o'clock near your house. So you are standing there on bus stop. There are a lot of other people also standing on the bus stop to use the same bus to go to the same location. All of you have not come together. All of them have decided their own plans and everybody is standing on their own. Then you are climbing in the bus. Now you tell me, how much money you are going to pay? Are you going to pay some same amount of rupees 10,000 which you paid last month for the purpose of entire bus booking? Think about it. It's very simple. Last time you booked the entire bus. This time you are booking only one seat where you are going to sit. Last time you booked the entire bus. This time you are going to book only one seat where you are going to sit. Rest of the seats can be used by other passengers who will pay for their own ticket. So now you tell me how much price you are going to pay. Are you going to pay the full bus price of rupees 10,000 or you are going to pay only one ticket price? Obviously your answer is going to be one ticket price. Same is the case in our business. Our business is having its reputation. The reputation is not of a single partner. Reputation is of the entire firm. So let us first of all find out the value of reputation of our firm. Let us find out value of reputation of our firm. Once we find it out, then we will ask ourselves, are we selling the entire business to a new partner, or we are asking the new partner to come along with us? So we will also enjoy the thing and he will also enjoy the thing. If we are selling the entire business which we have generated, which we have created to the new partner and we are retiring all, then we can demand from him full value of entire firm's goodwill. But when we are saying that we, 2 partners, 3 partners, 5 partners, 10 partners, we have worked for past 15 years together, we have created this reputation, now we want to expand the business. For that purpose we are interested in admitting one new partner in the partnership firm. All previous 10 partners are not retiring, they will continue to work, plus new partner will also join, so 16 partners will be there and then they are going to work. In that case the 16th partner will specify that I know if I join the partnership firm, I am going to get the benefit of the reputation of the partnership firm which it has created in past 15 years. Since I am going to enjoy the benefit of the reputation which is created by somebody else, it is necessary for me to pay for the same. But I'm the 16th partner, but I am not the person who is going to enjoy the full benefit of goodwill of the firm, because I am not the only single owner, but I am going to be one of the owners along with other 15 partners or other 10 partners, whatever it is. So since there are other people also in the same bus, I am not going to pay for everybody's ticket. I am going to pay only for my ticket. Similarly, since there are all other partners also who are going to share the profit, I am not going to pay the entire goodwill of the firm to the old partners, but I'll be paying only my share. So there are two different values. One is called as firm's goodwill. One is called as new partner's share. I'm repeating again. One is called as firm's goodwill, that is the reputation of the firm, and one is called as new partner's share, that is that much amount which the new partner should bring in cash because he's going to get, because he's going to enjoy, because he's going to share the benefit of the reputation which is generated by old partners by working hard in the past. So what is he's going to pay, that is called as new partner share. So there are two terms. I'm repeating again. Firm's goodwill talks about the reputation of the business, and new partner share is the amount which he should bring in for getting some share in the total profit of the business. That is called as new partner share. Now let us concentrate on the words methods of valuation. Remember, if anything is acquired, it has cost as well as value. For example, land and building. We are purchasing land and building, so the amount which we have paid for purchase of land and building, that is called as the cost of land and building. And today it is having a different value, that is called as the value of land and building. So there is cost which we paid, which we spent for acquiring land and building, and there is value which we may get at the time of sale of land and building. So if anything is acquired, there are two things for the same. Number one is the cost which we spent for acquiring the same, and number two, the value which we will get while selling the same. On the other hand, if anything is self-generated, then it has no cost, because past few years the old partners worked very hard for the purpose of making profit, for the purpose of developing reputation, for the purpose of giving customer satisfaction. So it is not the money which is spent for the purpose of acquiring the reputation, but it is the hard work which is done for the purpose of generating the reputation. That's why it is called as self-generated. So now there is no monetary cost, like the cost of land and building, like the cost of furniture, like the cost of plant and machinery. So there is no cost to the goodwill, but yes, it has value, because we can specify to the new partner that if you are coming and joining us, you will get the benefit. Don't forget to pay us for the benefit. So if anything is acquired, it has cost as well as value, but if anything is self-generated, it has no direct monetary cost which we can show that this is how much amount we have paid. But yes, it has value, because we can bargain for the same. We can demand some money for the purpose of letting others to use the reputation which is generated by us. I hope everybody has understood the basic concept. So let us now consider the methods. There are 6 methods of valuation of goodwill. 6 methods. But in our 12th standard syllabus, we are having only the first method and the fourth method. Simple, no tension. So don't worry. 6 methods सर कैसे याद रखने का, कसं काय लक्षात ठेवू, काय घाबरायची गरज नाही, एकदम सोपा आहे. फर्स्ट मेथड आणि फोर्थ मेथड, एवढ्या दोनच मेथड आपल्या सिलेबसमध्ये आहेत. तुम्ही उद्या जेव्हा CA फाउंडेशनचा अभ्यास करायला जाल, किंवा CA एंटरचा अभ्यास करायला जाल, किंवा पुढे जाऊन कुठला प्रोफेशनल कोर्स करणार असाल, तर तिकडे मात्र तुम्हाला 6 मेथड शिकायला लागतील. इनफॅक्ट यू कॅन ऑल्सो फाइंड सम व्हेरिएशन्स इन दीज मेथड्स. So is it possible to learn all these different things? Yes, but at this moment for 12th standard syllabus we will focus only on 2 methods. First one, average profit method, and the next one, super profit method. Only 2 methods. Now what is the meaning of average profit method? Average profit method is based on the assumption, 2 assumptions. Remember, what are we trying to calculate? We are trying to calculate value of goodwill. Why are we interested in calculating value of goodwill? Because we don't know the cost of goodwill. I hope you have understood what I am speaking. For land and building, I can always tell what is the price of land and building, whatever amount I have paid. I have purchased it by paying rupees 10 lakh. Okay, the cost of land and building is 10 lakh. What is today's value? I can very easily find out. I can go in the market. I can ask this area, this locality, what is the rate which is going on per square feet. So per square feet into multiplied by my area, I can specify that the value of land and building is so and so. So cost is known to me because I have paid it, and the value I can find out very easily because it depends upon the area in square feet multiplied by the rate per square feet. Furniture, I know the cost. I can find out the market value because I can go to the furniture wala, I can go to Bhangar wala, I can ask him, this is the old furniture which I want to sell, how much money you are ready to pay. I can very easily find out the same. It's easy. That's not a problem. Same is the case with plant and machinery, same is the case with vehicles. I know the cost, I can find out the value, and value is dependent on the market. There is a separate market for that particular product. Let it be land, let it be building, let it be plant, machinery, vehicle, furniture, stock, whatever it is. So finding out the value of all these assets is easy, but when it comes to goodwill, we are having a difficulty. Goodwill, number one, there is no cost because it is self-generated. And number two, its value is difficult to ascertain. So we are going to associate goodwill to what? We are going to associate goodwill to our extra profit earning capacity. That business which is earning extraordinary profit as compared to its competitors is probably having more goodwill. That business which is earning normal profit just like its competitors, probably it is having lower goodwill. And that business which is making losses is having no goodwill. Simple. So we are trying to find out how to connect our profit earning capacity with that of value of goodwill. I am repeating again, we are not deciding cost of goodwill, we are deciding value of goodwill. This value is not directly possible to be ascertained by going in the market and asking the rate of goodwill per square feet or maybe per unit or something like that. So this value is tied with the profit earning capacity. म्हणजे गुडविलच्या व्हॅल्यूची गाठ कशावर बांधलेली आहे तर बिझनेसच्या प्रॉफिट अर्निंग कॅपॅसिटी बरोबर बांधलेली आहे. ज्या बिझनेसची प्रॉफिट अर्निंग कॅपॅसिटी जास्त त्या बिझनेसचं गुडविल जास्त, ज्या बिझनेसची प्रॉफिट अर्निंग कॅपॅसिटी कमी त्याचं गुडविल कमी, ज्या बिझनेसची प्रॉफिट अर्निंग कॅपॅसिटी शून्य लॉसेस करतो आहे त्या बिझनेसला गुडविलच नाही आहे. This is what we are going to consider. So now we are trying to establish this connection between the profit earning capacity and goodwill. How to decide that particular thing. So there we are considering first method, that is called as average profit method. And in average profit method we are saying if yours is a new business, then you will make no profits. If yours is a new business, then probably if you are going to make no profits, who are you? You are a young businessman. What are you interested in doing? You are interested in doing the business which my partnership firm is already doing. Who are we? We are three partners. We are doing one business. Who are you? You are a new entrepreneur interested in starting your own business. What are we telling you? If you are going to start the same business which we are doing, then for next 2, 3, 4 years, either 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, you may have to work, but probably you will get no profit because we have done this business, we know this business. In this business, first 4 years are having no profit, lot of work but no profit. If you want to start, you can start. Invest 4 years, 4 golden years of your life in doing lot of hard work which ultimately afterwards may give you profit. If you want, you can do that. Or there is an option. Don't start your own business. You are anyway having all the professional expertise. Join our partnership firm. Our partnership firm has already crossed the period of 4 years. We have already created our good reputation. We have already started making profits. So the day on which you are joining our partnership firm, from that day itself, from the first year itself, you will start getting profits. So you have two choices. Number one, start your own business and wait for 4 years, or start your own business and wait for 3 years, or start your own business and wait for 5 years. Now how many years you may have to wait, that will depend upon business to business. Some businesses may start making profit quickly, some businesses may take more time for making profit. So the first assumption is new business is having no profit. So the old partners are telling the entrepreneur, instead of starting your own business and waiting for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years as the case may be, for the purpose of making profit, don't do that. Don't waste your time. Instead of that, join us as a partner. And from the first year, start enjoying profit. Okay, you may not enjoy full profit because we are also going to share the same. But at the same time, your efforts will not be wasted. Plus, you will have 3 people working with you who are experts. It's going to be beneficial for you. You can save your time. You are not required to hire extraordinary employees for that, because these 3 partners are anyway ready to work with you. So that is going to be easy. Every day, if you'll start your own business, probably you may have to work for 14 hours or 24 hours. But if you are going to join our partnership, we are already 3 people plus you 4. So even if our business needs to have complete control for 24 hours, still all of us can work for only 6 hours, and still all of us are going to make profit. So that is a benefit for you. You can decide what you want to do. You want to start your own business, okay, but then remember, probably new business is going to make no profit. And instead of that, if you join us, we are already having reputation, we are already making profit. So this becomes a good offer for a person not to start his own business, but to join the partnership firm for the purpose of doing the business. So average profit method is assuming if new business is equal to no profit, and if past is equal to future, in the future how much profit will be earned by the firm. In the future, how much profit will be earned by the firm. So if we are specifying that past is exactly equal to future, our past is predicting our future in a proper manner. To understand what will happen tomorrow, we can look at yesterday and we can tell you what is going to happen tomorrow. To understand what will happen day after tomorrow, we can look at day before yesterday and we can tell you what is going to happen day after tomorrow. We can tell you easily. Something of that sort. So past is fairly representing the future. If these 2 assumptions are working fine, then we can use average profit method. Step 1 will be total profit. Look at the past, how much past you are interested in considering for the purpose of predicting future. For example, if a student is telling that, sir, I got 50% or 60%, 60%, I got 60% in 9th standard, tell me how much will be my score in 10th standard. I'll say it's difficult to tell. Don't tell me only 9th standard percentage. If you want me to guess more accurately what is going to be your performance in 10th standard, then tell me your performance of 8th standard, 9th standard and 10th standard. I'll consider the performance of 3 years, 8th, 9th and 10th. Based on that, I will predict what is the future. So past is equal to future, but it does not mean only last year is equal to the entire future which is going to come. To understand what will happen for next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it is better for me to look at past either 3 years, 4 years, 5 years or maybe 2 years. Depends. Now there is no compulsion that if you are thinking of predicting the future for next 4 years, you must consider past 4 years. There is a chance that you can consider, if I want to predict the future for next 4 years, last 3 years are also more than sufficient for me. I can use that information. Yes, that is also okay. How much past should be considered as relevant for the coming future? It depends on problem to problem, situation to situation, business to business. For example, same situation, if a student is telling me, sir, please predict my 10th standard percentage, what it will be. I am ready to tell you my marks from my kindergarten, junior KG, senior KG, first standard, second standard, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. Now tell me, what will be my marks of 10th standard? I'll say, okay, that's a very good thing that you are having all your progress books from kindergarten up to 9th standard. But to predict the marks of 10th standard, it is not necessary for me to check your performance from KG to 9th standard. Even if you are telling me your performance of 7th, 8th, 9th or 8th and 9th, that is sufficient for me to predict the performance of 10th standard, because the subjects of first standard and the subjects of 10th standard are totally different. So you may be very, very intelligent in first standard in a particular subject, but that subject is not there in 10th standard now. So there is no guarantee that first standard performance can be considered as a good guide, good indicator, good basis for the purpose of determining, estimating, calculating the performance of 10th standard. I'll say the subjects of 7th standard, 8th standard, 9th standard are somewhat similar to the subjects of 10th standard. So how many marks you can achieve in 10th standard can be better told, can be better predicted by considering your performance of 7th, 8th and 9th. There is no need to consider your performance of 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. I hope you can understand what I'm speaking. Same is the case here. How much past we should consider for predicting future will be decided by the incoming partner and by the old partners by sitting across the table. They will agree. They will decide that the past is equal to future, then how much past is necessary to predict the coming future. But if we are considering these two assumptions, number one, new business will make no profit, and number two, past is equal to future, then we can calculate the value of goodwill in different ways. So in the first method, that is average profit method, step one, calculate total profit, whatever is agreed by the partners among themselves. That past 3 years or past 4 years or past 5 years, calculate the total profit of that period. Then calculate average profit. How to calculate average profit? Total profit divided by number of years of total. Total profit is equal to, just now we have calculated point number A, divided by number of years of total. So if the total profit is of 3 years, then it will be divided by 3. Total profit is of 4 years, it will be divided by 4. Total profit is of 5 years, it will be divided by 5. And then step number 3 is calculate goodwill. How to calculate goodwill? Goodwill will be equal to average profit as per step number 2. It means point number B. Average profit as per step number 2. Average profit as per step number 2 here. Point number B. This is average profit. Multiplied by number of years of purchase. Now many students get confused here. Sir, what is number of years of purchase? And how it is different from number of years of total? What is number of years of purchase and what is number of years of total? And how it is different from number of years of total? Number of years of total means how many past years are considered by us as a proper basis for the purpose of predicting the future. येत्या वर्षी किती प्रॉफिट होईल हे सांगण्यासाठी आपण मागच्या किती वर्षांच्या प्रॉफिटला कन्सिडर केलं होतं त्या वर्षांची संख्या म्हणजे नंबर ऑफ इयर्स ऑफ टोटल. आणि कॅल्क्युलेट गुडविल. हाऊ टू कॅल्क्युलेट गुडविल? दॅट इज इक्वल टू ॲव्हरेज प्रॉफिट इंटू नंबर ऑफ इयर्स ऑफ परचेस. तर नंबर ऑफ इयर्स ऑफ परचेसचा अर्थ काय? हा जो काही प्रॉफिट होणार आहे असं तुम्ही म्हणताय, तुमच्या पार्टनरशिप फर्मला हा जो काही प्रॉफिट होतोय याची काय गॅरंटी? कारण मागचे 4 वर्ष एवढा प्रॉफिट झाला होता, मागची 5 वर्ष एवढा प्रॉफिट झाला होता. जर का मागची 5 वर्ष एवढा प्रॉफिट झाला होता तर येत्या वर्षी पण एवढा प्रॉफिट होण्याची शक्यता जास्त आहे. देर इज अ ग्रेटर चान्स दॅट वी विल रिपीट अवर पास्ट परफॉर्मन्स. बॅटिंगला कोण आलाय? तेंडुलकर आलाय का? कोहली आलाय का? धोनी आलाय का? तर त्याचा पास्ट परफॉर्मन्स आपल्याला सांगतो की इफ दिस बॅट्समन इज ऑन द ग्राउंड देर इज अ ग्रेटर चान्स दॅट ही कॅन मेक मोर रन्स और ही इज नॉट गोइंग टू मेक रन्स. His past performance helps us in predicting the future. So we have found out the average profit. Now we are going to specify की आता ह्याच्या पुढे किती वर्ष करू शकतो. धोनीने भरपूर रन्स केल्या, 10,000 रन्स केल्या, 15,000 रन्स केल्या, जे काय असेल ते. पण याचा अर्थ असा नाही आहे की आता धोनी कायमचा खेळत राहणार आहे. देर इज अ पर्टिक्युलर लिमिट देअर आफ्टर ही मे रिटायर. सिमिलरली धोनीला एवढे रन्स करण्यासाठी एवढे वर्ष लागले. इट डज नॉट मीन बाकी किसी को रन्स करने को नहीं आएगा. शायद तुम लोग अगर नया नया खेलने को आओगे और धोनी का गाइडेंस नहीं रहेगा तो शायद पहले मैच में तुम पहले बॉल पे आउट होके 0 पे आउट हो जाओगे, घर पे जाओगे, पेविलियन में वापस जाओगे. बट धोनी का गाइडेंस रहेगा तो शायद तुम थोड़ा बहुत तो फायदा कर लोगे. फिर फर्स्ट मैच, सेकंड मैच, ऐसा 10, 15, 20 मैच अगर तूने धोनी के गाइडेंस के नीचे खेला तो बाद में फिर तुमको धोनी के गाइडेंस का कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. तुमको खुद को ही पता चला रहेगा क्या करने का क्या नहीं करने का. तो सेम इज द केस हियर. वी आर टेलिंग द न्यू पार्टनर इफ यू विल स्टार्ट योर न्यू बिजनेस यू विल मेक नो प्रॉफिट. ही इज सेइंग ओके, आई एग्री, दिस बिजनेस इज अ टफ बिजनेस. If I'll start my own business, I will make no profit. If I'll join your business, I know that probably I'm going to make profit. But don't think that if I'll start my own business, I will never make profit. That is never going to happen. If I will start my own business for first year, second year, third year, fourth year, I may have to work extra. I may have to work hard. Without making profit, I'll have to work. But ultimately all this work is going to give some benefit. So ultimately maybe after 3 years, maybe after 5 years, maybe after 4 years of working alone, ultimately I will also start making profit. So that is what is the benefit you are giving me. You are giving me the benefit that if I'll work on my own, it will require me to work for next 3 years without making profit. Next 4 years without making profit. But if I'll join your partnership firm, I will start making profit from the first day itself. So I am saving the 4 years of my life. I am saving the 4 years of my life which otherwise would have been invested by me to generate goodwill, to generate reputation, to start making profit, and I am enjoying profit right from the first day. So I am saving those 4 years. That means I am purchasing those 4 years of my life from you. I am purchasing peace of mind. I am purchasing profit making capacity from day one. That is what is called as number of years of purchase. So how many years it will take a business to start making its own profit is called as number of years of purchase. I repeat, how many years it will take for the new business to start making its own profit is called as number of years of purchase. And how much past is a good indicator of future is considered as number of years of total. I hope now it is clear in front of you. Okay, so let me write down, just a minute. First point, number of years of total represent how many years are used in indicating or in calculating, I'll specify, in calculating CALCU, calculating the profit making capacity of the business, and number of years of purchase represent how many years it will take for the new business to start making profits. How many years it will take for the new business to start making profits. I hope everybody is clear with this concept now. Okay, so based on this, let us try to solve one problem. Let me disappear from the screen so you can concentrate on the problem. See what is the problem. This is a problem from your textbook, page number 129. There is a chance that textbook page numbers may change according to the edition of the textbook, but the problem is important for me. Profits and losses of the past 4 years are as follows. Year 2016 is profit 1,20,000. 2017 is also profit 80,000. 2018 is a profit 20,000. And 2018 is a loss 20,000. And 2019 is a profit rupees 60,000. And then the instruction tells you calculate goodwill at the rate of 3 years purchase of average profits of past 4 years. It means the new partner and the old partners have agreed that if the new business is started, then probably for first year, second year, third year, for 3 continuous years, new business will not make any profit. But if instead of starting new business, that entrepreneur is going to join the old partnership firm, then he will be in a position to start enjoying profit from the first year. First year itself. Instead of waiting for 3 years, he is going to start enjoying profit from the first year itself. It means he is saving 3 years of his life of hard work. It means he is buying the hard work made by somebody else. That's why it is called as 3 years purchase. But 3 years purchase of what? Of average profit. Average of how many years? Past 10 years or past 20 years? So the old partners and the new partners have agreed that past 4 years are a good indicator of what may happen in the future. So we are not considering past 20 years or past 100 years. Take the case of company like Tata Steel. It was started around 1925. So it is a company which is elder to India, if you can understand. India got independence in 1947. and Tata Steel started around 1925. So it is having a longer life as compared to India. Now if you want to find out goodwill of Tata Steel, that does not mean that you are going to consider the profit from the first year of Tata Steel up to this year. I hope you can understand. Reason is, when Tata Steel was started, at that time the steel making technology was different, and today's steel making technology is different. At that time, total demand for steel in India all over the world was different as compared to today. The availability of railroads, availability of ships, availability of waterways, and different government rules, customs duties, excise duties, and maybe at that time there was no GST. So all those rules were different. So whatever was the profit in the first year of Tata Steel, that is not a good indicator to tell what will be the profit of Tata Steel in the next year, because that first year is around like 125 years back. Are you getting the point what I am trying to say? Almost 100 years back that first profit will be. So we will specify any past 8 years or past 10 years are more than sufficient for understanding the profitability of Tata Steel. Here the partners have agreed that past 4 years are sufficient to understand the profitability of partnership business. So let us consider our steps. What are the steps? Number 1, calculate total profit. Number 2, calculate average profit. How to calculate average profit? Total profit divided by number of years of total. And then calculate goodwill. It is equal to average profit into number of years of purchase. Number of years of purchase are 3 and number of years of total are 4. I hope everybody has understood the concept. Okay, let us start. So I'll specify here. Let me disappear from the screen. I'll write here profit for the year of, and it is 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and the amount of profit is how much? 1,20,000, 80,000, and then there is 20,000 is the amount of loss. Oh, I think I have written one line extra. Yes, let me remove it. Let me bring it down. And then 2019 there is a 67 rupees profit. So total profit 1,20,000 plus 80. Apply your mind, calculate the things very quickly. 1,20,000 plus 80, that goes to 2 lakh, minus 20, that goes to 1,80,000, plus 60, that goes to 2,40,000. So it will be 2,40,000 total profit. Next line, step number 1 is complete, so I'll call it as step number 1, that is A. Next, step number B or step number 2, average profit. Average profit is equal to A upon how many years we have taken? 4 years we have taken, upon number of years of total. Number of years of total. What is A? A is the total which we have calculated earlier. Okay, that goes to how much? 2,40,000 divided by 4. That is our point number B, and that will be how much? 60,000. Okay, and then there is goodwill. Goodwill is equal to what? Point number B, that is average profit, into number of years of purchase. Number of years of purchase, that goes to how much? 60,000 into how many years? They have told you 3 years. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, into 3 years. We have saved 3 years of our life by working with this partnership firm, by joining this partnership firm. So 60,000 into 3 is equal to 1,80,000. So this is the value of goodwill. Now the question is, sir, 1,80,000 is the value of whose goodwill? It is the value of new partners goodwill कि it is the value of firm's goodwill? Obviously profit कोणी कमावला होता? फर्मचा प्रॉफिट होता. सो ॲव्हरेज प्रॉफिट टोटल प्रॉफिट 2,40,000 कोणाचा आहे? फर्मचा आहे मागच्या 4 वर्षाचा. ॲव्हरेज प्रॉफिट 63 कोणाचा आहे? फर्मचा आहे मागच्या 4 वर्षाचा. सो गुडविल पण कोणाचा आहे? फर्मचा आहे. सो दिस व्हॅल्यू इज द व्हॅल्यू ऑफ फर्म्स गुडविल. दिस व्हॅल्यू इज द व्हॅल्यू ऑफ फर्म्स गुडविल, नॉट द गुडविल ऑफ एनी पार्टनर. आता समजा तुम्ही जो नवीन पार्टनर ॲडमिट केलेला आहे, जस्ट एक्झाम्पल, if you have admitted a new partner for half share, 1/2 share, we are telling him that please join our partnership firm, we'll give you 50% share. 50% we are agreeing. In that case, how much goodwill he should pay? If he would have purchased our entire business, then he should pay us 1,80,000 rupees goodwill. But since he is going to share only half of our profit, then he should pay us only rupees 90,000. That is firm's goodwill into the share which he is going to buy in the firm. Since he is buying 50% of the profit of the firm, he should pay us 50% of the goodwill of the firm. Suppose we are admitting him for 25% share, 1/4 share. In that case, what are we going to tell him? That if you are taking the entire bus, then you should pay 10,000. But since you are not taking entire bus, instead you are taking only 1/4 bus, so you should pay only for 1/4 bus. So 1,80,000 into 1/4, around 45,000. That is the amount he'll have to pay. That is the idea we are thinking of when it comes to calculation of goodwill. So by average profit method or by super profit method, we are not arriving at the figure of new partner's share, but we are arriving at the figure of firm's goodwill. And once we know firm's goodwill, then we will ask how much is the share of new partner. Whatever is the share of new partner, that share should be multiplied or should be used for multiplication to the firm's goodwill, and then we can find out what is the firm's goodwill. So 1,80,000 into half, if we are giving him half share. If we are giving only 1/10 share, then he should pay 1,80,000 into 1/10. तो आपल्या फर्मच्या प्रॉफिटमधला किती शेअर घेणार त्याच्यावर ठरतं तो आपल्या फर्मच्या गुडविलच्या किती पट आपल्याला अमाऊंट देणार, गुडविलची किती अमाऊंट आपल्याला देणार. If he takes full firm, he should pay full goodwill. But then we will have to go back to home. Then we are no more partners because he has taken over the full firm. If he is taking half of the share in profit, then he should pay only half of goodwill. If he is taking only 1/10 share in profit, he should pay only 1/10 of the total value of goodwill of the firm. I hope everybody has understood the concept. Let me go for next method, that is called a super profit method. What is the difference between super profit method and average profit method? Only one small difference. Only one small difference, but the entire format changes. What is the difference? Take the case of the assumptions which we have made at the time of average profit method. New business is equal to no profit. I repeat, our assumptions were new business is equal to no profit. And then second assumption was past is equal to future. When you are going for super profit method, second assumption is same, past is equal to future. But the first assumption is changed. Now we are saying new business is equal to normal profit, not no profit. New business is equal to normal profit. It means when the old partners are telling the new partner that if you will start your own business, then for next 3 years you will make no profit, next 4 years you will make no profit, next 5 years you will make no profit. That is what they are trying to tell him. Then the new partner is saying that it is impossible for a business to make no profit at all. If it's a road building business, if it's a construction business of constructing a dam or bridge or canal, yes, I can understand that things may be totally different for them. If it's a new product to be designed, product to be developed, product to be marketed, market to be created, then I can understand that there is some difference in that. That is okay for me. But ours is a trading business. I am going to start a shop. You are having a shop, I am having a shop. If I'll start my own shop, then first 4 years, no customers will come. ऐसा तो नहीं होगा. Some customers will surely come. If you are starting sweet shop, you are already having sweet shop, I am starting my own sweet shop. In fact, some customers will surely come. So don't think that new business is equal to no profit. In reality, new business will always make normal profit, but because your business is having a reputation, because your business is having credit worthiness, because your business customers are having guarantee of customer satisfaction. In short, because your business is having goodwill, you are making more than normal profit. So new business will make normal profit, and a business with reputation will make super normal profit. It is also called a super profit. All of us are, you are a man, I am a man. Some of you may be girls, that's a different story, but let us consider only simple example. You are a man, I am a man, and somebody who can fly, he is called a superman. So we are normal men and he is a superman. New business, normal profit. Reputed business, having more than normal profit, super profit. I hope you have understood the concept what I am speaking. Okay, so the valuation of goodwill sometimes can be done by super profit method when the old partners and the new partners agree that if the new partner, instead of joining the old partnership firm, starts his own business, then he will also make profit, but he will make meager profit, small profit, normal profit. Instead of that, if he joins this existing partnership firm, then from day one he will be making super profit. So he is having extra benefit. That's why he should pay goodwill. So we are calculating goodwill here by super profit method whenever the new partner can successfully prove to the old partners that if he starts his own business, he is not going to make a loss. But if he starts his own business, he can also make profit, but his profit will be smaller. Instead of that, if he joins the firm, his profits will be bigger. So he is thinking not to start his own business, but to join the old partnership firm. That means he is going to share the profit which is made by the partnership firm. This partnership firm makes extra profit, and this extra profit is a result of reputation which is built by the old partners. So the new partner should pay to the old partners for the goodwill, for the reputation. That's why we are calculating the goodwill of the firm on the basis of which method? On the basis of super profit method. Sir, how will I understand in exam whether I should follow average profit method or I should follow super profit method? Don't worry. Exam is easy. In exam there is no bargaining. It is clearly given by the problem whether to follow average profit method or to follow super profit method. Everything is told by the problem, so there is no tension. It is clearly mentioned that partners decided to value goodwill on the basis of 3 years purchase of super profit of the firm. समझ में आ गया, super profit method है. Or partners decided to calculate goodwill at the rate of 2 years purchase of average profits of the firm. Okay, average profit method. Problem is already is going to give you clear instruction. So exam is totally easy. There is no tension for exam. Real life, yes, it will be a lot of argument, bargaining between the new partner's lawyer and the old partner's lawyer. New partners will try to pay lesser amount of goodwill and old partners would like to get more amount of goodwill. So that bargaining will happen in real life. But currently we are not thinking of real life. Currently we are thinking of only academic life, 12th standard exam, that too. So here the calculation is involving 6 steps. Earlier it was only 3 steps. Take the total, calculate average, calculate goodwill, 3 steps. Take the total, calculate average, calculate goodwill, 3 steps in average profit method. Now 6 steps in super profit method. Capital employed, which may be either given or you have to prepare a working note for the same. Normal rate of return, which is always given. Normal profit is equal to A into B, matlab capital employed into normal rate of return. Step number 4, average profit. How to calculate average profit? Total profit upon number of years of total. Step number 5, super profit. How to calculate super profit? Super profit is equal to average profit minus normal profit. Others earn normal profit, your firm earns average profit. Your firm earns extra profit. How much extra? So whatever is the profit earned by your firm minus whatever is the profit earned by any normal business. The difference is equal to super profit. आम्ही काय करतो? चालतो. तो काय करतो? चालतो आणि धावतो. आणि तो तिसरा काय करतो? चालतो, धावतो आणि पळतो. सॉरी, उडतो. मग तो उडणारा जो आहे तो that will be considered as superman. समजतं मी काय म्हणतो ते? So difference between superman and man is equal to he can walk, run and fly. We can only walk and run. So that difference is flying. That is called as super profit. That is called as his super abilities. तो वैसे यहाँ पे it will be called as super profit. And then goodwill is equal to, now instead of considering average profit into number of years of purchase, we are going to say super profit into number of years of purchase. That is how we are going to decide the value of goodwill. If it is difficult to understand, let us consider one question. Just a moment. Yes, let me adjust it a bit. This is here. Okay, good, very nice. Let me increase the font size so it will be easy for you to understand. Yes, valuation of goodwill by super profit method. First step is calculation of capital employed. Okay, so I'll specify here step 1, capital employed. Point number A. Look into the problem. Let me disappear. Check the problem. Find out the value of goodwill from the following information using super profit method: 2014, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Profit, 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 loss and profit: 80,000, 95,000, 1,10,000, 40,000 and 85,000. Capital employed is given 3,50,000. Normal rate of return is given 12%, and goodwill is to be valued at 2 years purchase of super profit. Okay. So first thing is capital employed, which is given to us 3,50,000. So I'll go here, I'll specify capital employed given. I was not required to calculate the same. How much was that? 3,50,000. Yes. Next one is format के हिसाब से normal rate of return. Normal rate of return is given by the problem 12%. So I'll specify here normal rate of return, which is also given. I'll call it as B, 12%. So if anybody starts this business by putting rupees 5 lakh, by putting rupees 100, by putting rupees 1000, by putting rupees 50 lakh, whatever it is, whatever money he's putting, he can generally get 12% rate of return in this business. So it is already known, whether you have reputation or you don't have reputation, still whatever capital you will put in this business, you can always get 12% rate of return. So we can say in that case our profit will be normal profit into bracket A into B. So 3,50,000 into 12%. Let us calculate. 3,50,000 into 12%. That goes to 42,000. 42,000. Okay. Let us consider average profit. Average profit is not given by the problem. In fact, problem has given us past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So we'll have to use these 5 years to find out average profit. That means we are going to prepare a working note for the same. So I'll call it as working note number 1. I'll keep it pending. And thereafter I'll call it as point number D. You can use small letters, you can use capital letters, that depends upon you. Next is super profit. How to calculate super profit? Average profit of our partnership firm minus normal profit, which is made by any firm. So it will be equal to D minus C. D minus C is equal to E. Next is point number E. Goodwill. And I have told you that goodwill is equal to how much? Goodwill is to be valued at 2 years purchase. 2 years purchase of super profit. So I'll consider 2 years purchase of super profit, and super profit is point number E. So I'll say E into number of years of purchase, that is E into how many years? They have told us 2 years purchase. So I'll specify multiplied by 2 years. No sir, but they have given us 5 years. That 5 years are for average, not for number of years of purchase. अगले साल कितना प्रॉफिट होगा ये प्रेडिक्ट करने के लिए पिछले 5 साल को देखो, और अगले साल जितना प्रॉफिट होगा उसके जैसा प्रॉफिट किसी नए बिझनेस को कमाने का रहेगा तो उसको 2 साल लगेगा. 5 वर्ष कशासाठी तर येत्या वर्षांमध्ये किती प्रॉफिट होईल याचं प्रेडिक्शन करण्यासाठी, ह्याचं गेसवर्क करण्यासाठी, त्याचा अंदाज बांधण्यासाठी तुम्हाला मागची 5 वर्ष लागत आहेत. मागची 5 वर्षाचा डेटा वापरून आपण सांगू शकतो येत्या वर्षामध्ये काय होऊ शकतं. आणि मग येत्या वर्षात जे होऊ शकतं ते नवीन बिझनेसला अक्वायर करायचं असेल, नवीन बिझनेसला जर का अचीव्ह करायचं असेल तर त्याला 2 वर्ष लागतील, सो दॅट ही कॅन स्टार्ट मेकिंग द सेम प्रॉफिट विच अवर पार्टनरशिप फर्म इज मेकिंग. दॅट्स वाय इट इज कॉल्ड एज नंबर ऑफ इयर्स ऑफ परचेस. तर तुम्ही स्वतःचा बिझनेस चालू करा आणि 2 वर्ष घाम गाळत बसा साध्या प्रॉफिटवरती, किंवा स्वतःचा बिझनेस चालू नका करू, आमच्या बिझनेसमध्ये जॉईन व्हा आणि डायरेक्टली प्रॉफिट कमवायला सुरुवात करा पहिल्या वर्षापासनं. म्हणजे तुम्हाला फायदा सुरुवात झाली. तुमच्या आयुष्यातले 2 वर्ष खूप हार्डवर्कची तुम्ही आता ती सेव्ह केलीत. दॅट मीन्स यू आर गोइंग टू get the benefit of our goodwill, so you'll have to pay for our goodwill. That's the idea we are saying. Clear? So goodwill is equal to E into number of years of purchase. Now I'll consider here working note number 1. Calculation of average profit. How to calculate average profit? We have seen it just now. Profit for the year of. Which years are given to us? The years given to us are 2014, 15, 16, 17. 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017 and 2018. Very good. So then I'll consider total $2014 ला काय आहे, प्रॉफिट आहे का लॉस आहे बघा जरा. 2014 there is a profit of 80,000, 2015 95,000, 80,000, 95,000, 1,10,000. So I'll write here 80,000, 95,000, 1,10,000. Let me disappear from the screen so you can see it properly. 80, 95 आणि 1,10,000. मग 40,000 चा लॉस आणि 85,000 चा प्रॉफिट. 40,000 चा लॉस, सो आय एम पुटिंग इट इन ब्रॅकेट, आणि 85,000 चा प्रॉफिट. लेट अस कॅल्क्युलेट द टोटल ऑफ द सेम. द टोटल इज 80 plus 95 plus 1,10,000 minus 40 and plus 85, that goes to 3,30,000. I'll remove this one, or let me increase it here, just a minute. Yes. And next point, average profit. Is equal to total profit divided by number of years of total. That means is equal to 3,30,000 divided by 5 years. किती आला आन्सर? 3,30,000 divided by 5 years is equal to 66,000. So I'll put it here, average profit is 66,000. म्हणजे तुम्ही स्वतःचा बिझनेस चालू कराल, 3.5 लाख रुपये टाकाल, 3,50,000 rupees if put in your own business, you will make a profit of rupees 42,000. But if the same 3,50,000 rupees are put in our partnership business, then you will make a profit of rupees 66,000. It means you will make an extra profit. You will make an extra profit of 66,000 minus 42,000, that is equal to 24,000. And the goodwill is equal to 2 years purchase, because it will take 2 years for you. If you start your own business, it will take 2 years for you to make a profit of rupees 66,000. You can make a profit, but you will make a profit of only rupees 42,000 and 42,000. Instead of that, if you start joining our business, then you will make a profit of 66,000 and 66,000. Matlab next 2 years you can get extra profit of rupees 24,000 if instead of starting your own business, you decide to join our business. That means by joining our business, you are going to enjoy 24,000 rupees into 2 years extra. That means the goodwill is equal to rupees 48,000. Okay. So that is the value of goodwill. Capital employed is given by the problem. Normal rate of return is 12%. So if anybody starts his own business with 3,50,000 rupees, then he can make 42,000 rupees profit. But if you will join our business, our partnership firm, then you can make a profit of rupees 66,000, because that is our past 5 years performance. That is telling us that कुछ भी होने दो 66,000 तो अगले साल हम कमा ही लेंगे. If you will start your own business, you will make 42,000. If you will join our business, you will get 66,000. So you are going to get 24,000 rupees extra. और ऐसा कब तक चलेगा? If you will start your business, then and you will continue to do the hard work for next 2 years, then from third year you will also make 66,000. But first 2 years you will make only rupees 42,000. So we are not saying that you are going to get the benefit of our goodwill for your entire life. You will also make your own reputation. That's a different story. But as on today you don't have reputation, and to create reputation will require minimum 2 years. So either you spend those 2 years by investing your time, or you save those 2 years by spending your money by paying us goodwill. So value of goodwill is how much? 48,000, because you are saving 2 years of your life of extra hard work and putting it in our partnership business. I hope you have understood the idea what I'm speaking. Clear? So the value of goodwill is how much? 48,000. Remember this format. This point is point number F. How to calculate point number F? Point number F is equal to super profit into number of years of purchase. Okay. So these are the 2 methods. Average method, there are only 3 steps. What are the 3 steps of average method? Calculate total profit, calculate average profit, and calculate goodwill. Average profit is equal to total profit upon number of years of total. Goodwill is equal to average profit into number of years of purchase. In super profit method, first is capital employed into normal rate of return is equal to normal profit, average profit, deduct the amount of normal profit from the average profit. Whatever you get is super profit. Multiply the super profit by the number of years of purchase which otherwise are required to be invested for hard work. खून पसीने का कमाई. कितने साल काम करना पड़ेगा खुद ब खुद तो इतना प्रॉफिट कमा सकोगे? कम से कम 2 साल खून पसीना एक करना पड़ेगा. मत करो इतना काम, आ जाओ हमारे साथ ज्वाइन कर दो और अभी से बेनिफिट लेना चालू कर दो. Then you are saving those 2 golden years of your life by joining us. So you will have to pay us goodwill. How much goodwill he should pay? Remember, he is not going to pay 48,000 rupees goodwill. New partner is not going to pay 48,000 rupees goodwill, because 48,000 is the value of goodwill of the firm. Now we'll have to ask, are you taking the full bus or you are taking only one seat? Then how much share is going to get? So 48,000 into half, or 48,000 into 1/4, or 48,000 into 20% or 10%, whatever share of profit he is going to get. Accordingly, his share of goodwill will be decided. Clear? So in this lecture, I have focused only on how to calculate value of goodwill by 2 methods of 12th standard syllabus: average profit method and super profit method. Other methods are not in your syllabus, so I have not discussed it. I have not yet discussed about calculation of ratios, and I have also not discussed about accounting entries. Next lecture I am going to talk about calculation of ratios. Once calculation of ratios is over, then I'll talk about accounting entries, and then our theory lectures will be over. Then we can start solving practical problems. I intend to solve around 13-14 problems on the topic of admission of a partner, so you'll get full understanding of the entire topic and you can get the good marks in exam. Okay, so thank you very much for being with me in this very important lecture of valuation of goodwill. See you in the next lecture. There I'm going to talk about calculation of ratios. Okay, bye bye.